Did you guys miss me? That was a long phone call. It was from a dear friend, and while I was on the phone with him, I made dinner. Oh. Huh. Oh, thanks, Jade. I'm just glad some of you guys stayed. So, what are we doing? Cry of the Canarium. Is that which Ravnica is that? Is that Allegiance or um, the Guilds of Ravnica? It sounds like one of the Rakdos cards from the most recent set. How did the Rampage deck do? We went 2 and 3. So for a prototype, that's not terrible. Oh, it's a Flaying Tendrils. You want me to do a Dovin deck? All right. Hmm. Let me finish eating this, but then we're going to put 50 minutes on the clock and we're going to do another round. Let me turn off my mic because the chewing noises are probably bothersome to you guys. Yeah, I was thinking about Thopter Foundry or something that has to do with Thopters, but real quick, uh, Nick, do you think we're going to be able to brew the deck that you're happy with on 80 tickets, or do I need to send back some of the other decks we have? I actually can't send back the Shadow deck because there's some crossover. I'm looking through my loan orders to see if there's one I can send back that doesn't have any crossover. One that's on the expensive side that doesn't have... Well, you know what I mean when I say crossover, because we're borrowing a Pauper deck, and we still have the Bring to Light deck, and I think there was some stuff that the Shadow deck is... maybe not anymore. Oh yeah, this is where the Spell Pierce is. Brian with a tier 1 sub. You must have just gotten home, Brian. Thank you so much, Brian. Hey, you're going to be really excited about this deck. I have no idea. This is your brew. Well, we have 50 minutes. Might be fun to do brewing on a budget. I don't think that gets done enough in Modern. We're not making a standard deck. We're making a Modern deck, right? Thank you so much for that sub, Brian. Let me open a chest for you before I forget. Seriously, Brian, you coming home and doing that means a lot to me. Alright, let's open this. 5 play points. Shakashima, the Imposter. You may have Sakashima the Imposter under the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except its name is Sakashima the Imposter. It's legendary. In addition to its other types, it has 2 blue. Return this creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. 3 dreams are made of these. Search your library for up to 3 ore cards with different names. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then reshuffle. Then shuffle your library. It's a cool card. It's definitely a cool card. Alright. So we're doing a deck for Nick. So he wants me to brew around Dovin. So I'm going to do some... Well, first we're going to start the clock. Let me finish eating, and then we're going to start the clock, and we're going to have 50 minutes for me to work. 50 minutes for me to... Oh, shoot, I closed down like an idiot. Like an idiot, I closed that down. I meant to leave that up just in case we did another one tonight. This may be the new thing that we just do, by the way. I want the Google clock. Google countdown timer. Whoa, thank you for all the bits, Brian. Holy crap. Thank you so much for showering the stream with bits. Oh, let's see if some of them make them into the cup. Okay, well, you gave so many bits. Some of them definitely made it into the cup. Thank you so much, Brian. So we'll take you down for the next... Don't tell us what it is yet, but have a card in mind, preferably from a recent set, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, there we go. So the timer's there. I just need to add it to the countdown. Hang on, properties. What? Chrome. I'll just make a new one, so let's delete that. It's not as exciting if we don't have the timer, guys. We gotta have the timer. It's important. These are just some stir-fried vegetables. Onions, seasoning, and some eggs. Nothing special. Some spinach. Well, spinach is a vegetable. Some broccoli. It's good. It's certainly nothing fancy, but I whipped it up while I was on the phone. It's pretty easy to do. I think cooking is something that's pretty underrated, isn't it? Wrong source. I want Chrome. Not that Chrome. Different Chrome. I want... Oh, I did it as Firefox, like an idiot. There we go. Okay. This took me a while to set up earlier today, so I apologize. There's a huge... Be glad that you... Oh. Nope. Not what I wanted to grab stream. Be glad that you don't have to actually do what I'm doing right now. That you don't have to worry about. I should have zoomed in. Oh, that's 300%. That's as close as we can get. Okay. Yeah, be glad that you don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. I'm the streamer. I gotta worry about this stuff. You don't gotta worry about it, guys. Put that there. We're gonna move it. I think I had like on the bottom of my sources, if I recall. Below display capture, of course. But can you see it? There. Oh, that's locking. Why are you locking that side? Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh. In other news, while I'm buying time, I finished watching season 3 of it. Yeah, season 3 of Attack on Titan. That was good. I've been doing a lot less anime in my old age. Alright, there we go. All I'm seeing is Delver, Souls, and Dovin. Like an Esper deck? I could see Esper. So let's do some research. Well, anyway. Yeah, so... Oh, not 5 minutes. 50 minutes. Should we change that, though? Let's work our way down. Let's try 45. I said I want to bring it down to, like, something more like 45 or even 30 minutes eventually. Let's not keep doing 50. Let's try 45 this time. See if we can do a decent deck in 45 minutes on 80 tickets. Finished season 3 yesterday. Once you started, I couldn't stop. Yeah, it was good, Brandy. It was really good. Oh, is my mic still off? Nope. Okay. I thought that'd be really funny if I... Well, how else would you have known that I was talking about Attack on Titan if the mic wasn't hot? It looks like I'm talking into the bow tie now. Maybe the bow tie is actually my microphone. Is this thing on? Yes. My bow tie. Yes. It's like right where it needs to be almost. Like right about right there. Right there. Right there. Card definitely feels like it wants to be tempo. It could be. Like Jeskai Geist. No, go Esper, play Brutality and Souls. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I was hungry. What is this, a mukbang stream now because I'm eating? Alright, so we're going to try to do it in... Does this show seconds? Okay, perfect. Now I got to recenter it. Oh no, it's perfect. 45 minutes on the clock. Another speed challenge. Oh yeah, polymorph could be sweet. I haven't done a polymorph deck in a long while. I've always felt that that's a strong strategy. I've always felt that Emrakul is very strong in Modern. Sorry, I had to wipe my nose. I just don't think that it sees enough play. Like, Emrakul does not see nearly as much play in Modern as he should. Alright, so we're building around Hallowed Fountain. Alright, you got it, Nick. Now, I'm not going to say anything. I feel like maybe you wasted your tier 3 sub on a poor choice, but there's plenty of people... I see people building around Hallowed Fountain all the time. It's a pretty common build-around card, so... Alright, so 45 minutes on the clock, right? Are we ready, guys? Are we ready? Come on, let's get some bow ties in the chat. Are we ready to brew? Brew. Brew. Are we ready to brew? Are you guys ready to brew? Are you ready to brew? Hollowed fountain combos with... Yes, it does. Are you ready? Oh, excuse me, I'm not ready. I'm burping. You should be able to make it happen in the chat even if you're not subbed. I think it's BrewSpytheMagicGuy. I might not have my thingy turned on that turns the words into an image. Did it go through? No, it didn't. I'll have to figure out what's wrong with my Game Wisp. Or not my Game Wisp, my it's an add-on. Oh, hang on, my phone's going off. Yeah, I know we're supposed to go to bed now, but come on. I know. I do have work tomorrow, but whatever. The show must go on. There we go. Alright. Yeah, it's not working right now. I'll have to tinker with it. Alright, guys. Let's... Oh, it's still going. Stop! I have it set to like not leave me alone, so I actually go to bed. It's not. I'm not having trouble waking up for my early job anymore. Now I'm having difficulty waking up for it. This is kind of a cool app. So there's a bunch of different puzzles you can do. This one is I have to take a picture of something in my bedroom. I have picture does not match. Come on. Is it because there's stuff on it? So basically, I set it to I have to take a picture of my my new keyboard. It was a birthday gift. Thank you so much for hitting that button. I'm just trying to get rid of the alarm. Thank you so much. Holy cow. All the support today has been huge. I really, oops, wrong button. I really appreciate it, guys. Seriously. Nick, thank you for gifting that to Jane. That's very generous. All the support has been very generous. So now she can bow tie. There, bow ties. All right, now we can go. Sorry, I just knocked over my deck. So hang on a second. All right. Yeah, it's a cool little alarm app. Like it literally won't leave me alone unless I take a picture specifically of that piano. So it's like basically I have to be home and I have to be trying to sleep. Casual 4-hour stream. I didn't realize our uptime was here. All right, so let's do it again. Are you ready, guys, to brew? Brew. That's not right. That's not right at all. Look, it says live 3 hours 51 minutes. I don't know why MTG Bot thinks I've been live for 36 minutes. You want crack? All right. Are you guys ready to brew something amazing in 45 minutes? Let's go! I need your help though, guys. All right, so Dovin Grand Arbiter. If we actually want to see the card, we should play more than one copy. It is going to be our build around. That's the thing. Is like maybe that's another stipulation we should add to the rules of this brewing is that we have to actually have a reasonable number of copies of the card in the deck. We're also trying to brew on a budget. I don't think there's anything else from the new set that makes sense for this. Let's just focus on Gather. So some more Dovins. Maybe as many as 3. I wouldn't play 4. Okay, so Thopter. Text. Let's just do CMC. There's got to be some stuff that has to do with Thopters, right? Like where it gets tutored. That's fair. So we could have lands that make Thopters. Walker makes Thopters. Deploy makes Thopters. Thopter Foundry combo obviously is potential. Okay, Servos and Thopters get +1/+1. Artifact creatures get stronger. There's also Psi. Oh yeah, Thopter Engineer giving us haste is kind of neat. I mean, if we're tempo, the haste is very relevant off of the Thopter Engineer. Thopter Spy Work. Spy Network. Mom and Pop Thopter Shop. Whirler Rogue. I mean, there's lots of cool things we could do. Okay. But at the same time, like, okay, sure, we looked up. I mean, we found Master Trinketeer. It doesn't seem strong enough. This works on servos, too. Wait a minute. Oh, it's a -1. Ooh. Huh. He could get a lot of loyalty all at once, though. Like, he definitely wants you to go wide. So, initial thoughts I have. Steel. That's why I was saying the card wants tempo. What is the name of the card? What is that enchantment that I'm thinking of? Tempered. So Tempered is an idea. Geist. And then ways to get the Geist in is an idea. I like that card. It's like Geist. Yeah, Tempered. Why don't you play Inspiring Statuary? I mean, we could also like play like things that are related to tokens. Like somebody was saying a polymorph deck might be sweet. Somebody else was thinking if we go into Jeskai, then we can play Nahiri polymorph, which I don't think was that explored back when polymorph was legal. Because usually you go Esper with something like Tangible Virtue. So the benefit of going into red would be something like Thopter Engineer, or I could see... I'm just trying to get all the different cards I'm thinking about over here. Making Delver seem sweet, though. I mean, between Serum Visions and... What is the new card that came out? Discovery? Yeah, between Discovery and Serum Visions, we actually could flip Delver's Secrets these days. It could be feasible to flip Delver in the first few turns of Modern now. Oh yeah, there's the new art. Yeah, so you would play Serum Visions, you'd also play the other draw spell. Discovery. Or wait, that wouldn't work, was it? What? Because you draw immediately, don't you? Never mind. Unless you surveilled both cards to the top, drew the card that wasn't a spell, instant or sorcery. We'd also have to be a lot of instants and sorceries. Opt would work. Opt doesn't do it either. But yeah, technically Discovery could set up the Delver because you could reorder whether you're going to draw the instant that turn or the next turn. Like if you saw two cards on top, one of which is an instant or sorcery, you reorder it, and then you'll draw the non-spell, and then you reveal it. It's kind of a corner case kind of thing, though. Yeah, Delver is a thought. Obviously, Serum Visions would still be the better way to set up the Delver to flip. So inspiring. I'm sorry, I didn't ignore what you were saying, Melfina. I just kind of... I'm also thinking about some of the things I'm thinking about. Oh yeah, we can do some interesting stuff with this. Artifacts helping us cast things is kind of neat. Thopter Sword was an idea. Yeah, Thopter Sword was an idea. Thopter Sword definitely makes me, like, between Lingering Souls and Thopter Sword, Discovery feels great. That feels exactly where we'd want to be. Probably like a 3-2 split of Thopter Sword if we were to play it. Blue-White Spirits could use it. What, Dovin? Well, I kind of wanted to build into the whole Thopter theme, but maybe that's not the best mode on Dovin at all, is making a dude, like, maybe we should be building around his +1. Yeah, maybe we should just focus on his plot. I mean, we have to think about both of his modes. I mean, again, Dovin makes a lot of sense in a polymorph style of deck. For sure. But he would also be alongside Sorin's. I mean, that might be the strongest deck that's here. That'd be expensive to buy on Moto. Well, I have most of the mana base for Esper, though. It would just be the Planeswalkers we have to buy. So, I mean, if we did want to go down the path of kind of like an intangible Emrakul deck, it'd be Dovins and Sorins and... What about humans? I mean, I have been wanting to play some Emrakul in Modern. How much is Emrakul? Because I only have... I don't know, E-price. Because we need to pick up another Emrakul. Collective Brutality would put him back into the deck, though, so maybe we don't need a second copy. Maybe we're happy with just one. Which Sorins would we play? Would we do a split of the Sorins? Would it be like 2 of Lord and... Oh. 2 Lord of Innistrad and 2... Solemn Visitor. I think this got fixed. The programming on this one was wrong, or was messed up for a while. Yeah, I mean, Dovin fits right in like an Esper polymorph. This was a good plan. Who was it in the chat that mentioned this idea? That's maybe spot on. Solemn Visitor and tokens is universally the better one. So maybe like a 2-1 split. I kind of don't mind a 3 of on Dovin just because he's that much cheaper. Played black-white tokens for a long while. Lord of Innistrad isn't even worth the slot. Fair enough. Play Gideon? Ooh. This is true. We get to play the new sweeper. I thought about this in a tokens deck. We could do a split of Kai's Wrath and Settle, right? Three 3-1 split Storm is still the best. Well, maybe we shouldn't be playing triple Dovin. Maybe it should be a 2 of, 3 of, 2 of. Or 3-2-1, if Sorin really is that much better. Because it seems like Dovin's just here because he's cheaper on the mana. It's like maybe a 3-2-1 split. I do like that this is doing something powerful and degenerate, right? Because that's kind of my issue with a lot of the different... There we go, we already have an Emrakul. Polymorph, and then we want also the... we want the staff. Lingering Souls. I don't know if I like the playset of Poly. Well, maybe it is still better. Honestly, making a dude to Poly after is good. Raise the alarm? Is that what we're doing? Remember playing this archetype a long, long time ago. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford it, actually. Proteus staff. Are you okay with where the deck is going, Nick, by the way? I don't want to just leave you in the dust. That's a lot of 4-drops. A lot of 4-drops. But we get Path. We don't get Snapcaster Mage, but we get Path, Thoughtseize, if we want to be playing, or maybe even Inquisition is good enough. Inquisition, Collective Brutality, maybe a split of Thoughtseize, Inquisition. Also, you play fewer sweepers in a token build. Yeah, we want Settles before we play Kaya's. Maybe we don't play Kaya's Wrath at all in this, honestly. I like Settle. I like the idea of... It doesn't need to be main board. It's more about spot removal. Okay. I just want a way to shuffle the Emrakul back into the deck. So whether we do that with a spell that literally puts it back into the deck, which does exist in non-Vendilion Click form. I mean, should we be playing Serum Vision? Is that what we should be doing? And how many Proteus staff do you play? At least 2, right? Because although Polymorph is a lot less mana overall, like this is 3 and then 6, this is reusable. And I know there are, you know, plenty of Abrades floating around and Kolaghan's commands, but you want more enablers. Collective is... Well, no, I wasn't adding Serum because so if you're trying, let me use my words right. So we probably won't be able to pick up more than the 2 brutalities I already have, just price wise. Lingering Souls. Are there some like technology token generators? Like I'm down for Lingering Souls, of course, but is there? We could play like a Zealous Persecution out of the board. Now, this seems sweet, and then we get to play Stony Silences and Rest in Pieces, which seems strong. Some counter magic. What about Raise the Alarm? Just because it's instant speed? I don't know if we're going to be able to actually afford all these cards, but we'll see. Not Negate, we'd play Counter Squall. Do you like how this deck is shaping up, though? Honestly, Dovin digs to Poly, though. Yeah. He does. Token Makers at 2 is very important because Dovin happens at 3. Okay, so Raise the Alarm. So what else do we want in this thing? We don't have room for much else. We'll have to figure out what we're doing with the hand hate. That'd be a 22. Alright, Drive says, I don't see staff as needed. That said, you want to be careful. Cards like Intangible, you need a big density of token makers to make the card good. I think the first Intangible is sweet, though. I'm down for cutting a staff. I think the first staff has a lot of upside. I think it'd be weird not to play one copy, wouldn't it? I don't know, you tell me. You've played the archetype more. Alright, be quiet. It's not because I'm interested. I already brewed with it. I want to see your ideas. I'm with you. Okay. Fair enough. We could play a bunch of Field of Ruins. Our mana requirements are very light. Relatively speaking, light mana requirements. Actually, I think we're definitely more of a Marsh Flats deck. I don't know why I did it that way. Poly's okay. Part of the strength spot removal is crap versus tokens. They have to keep it in because otherwise Emrakul happens. Right, and if they don't see it coming game one, they get blown out. Exactly. Or we have enough hand hate that we can just pick it out of their hand. It's very possible as well. Actually, if I doubled up on anything, it might be plains. Swamp. 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 Serum be more tokens. There's a real chance that would be fair enough. And I've always felt that Serum's on the weak side. That does not bother me at all. In fact, if we don't have enough one drops, I might even run like something weird like temples, or we could run. I could see us running some manlands. We would probably play Tar Pit instead of. Actually, I saw the other day somebody playing like 3 or 4 copies of Creeping Tar Pit. It was a sick deck. It wasn't Esper. I think it was Bug. But Tar Pit has a lot of synergy with Dovin. Because we can kind of force it to get in. I don't think I'd play that many here, but the reason that I want Tar Pit instead of Colonnade has to do with the mana cost to activate. So we can activate Tar Pit and then polymorph it or staff it. Tar Pit's kind of sucky in this list. Oh, sick? Yeah, I think Tar Pit would be sweet. Maybe even a 3rd copy. And then the rest would be Field of Ruin. Now we're heavy on 4s, so how many lands do we want? 23? 24? Is this a search for a Skantha deck? I mean... No, I'm with you, Brandia. And then we have room. We have 3 more slots for token generation. What's the one that makes the legendary vampire token? You should find it. It's funny. I don't always remember the names of cards, but I'll remember what the card says. There we go. Legion's Landing. Boom. Did you already suggest this, somebody? I'm sorry if I stole your idea. Callous. No, it's a creature. I mean, we could have creatures in the sideboard and try and stay away from it. I'm getting to the point where I want to see how much this is priced. I've been trying not to look at the clock, by the way. Almost halfway through already. So we have access to at least 1 explosives. Just because Zealous is strong in a deck like this doesn't mean I need to run 2. We could be running like Dark Blast in that spot for all I know. One more main deck card. We have to finish fleshing out the sideboard. I mean, I wish we had some more synergy for the Thopters themselves, but now we're just on the token plan. Oh, we actually have 2 explosives if we want them. That's nice. Maybe like some bullets now, like a Celestial Purge, because we're in white. I'm just throwing out some potential sideboard cards at this point. Nothing. Maybe even like a Disdainful Stroke. I feel like Disdainful hits so much relevant stuff these days. I like the card a lot right now. Do you guys have any other, suggestions? So how much token generation? Certainly not enough, right? So we've got 5, 9, 10, 16. Should probably get that to 18. Timely? Oh yeah, Timely is a great call. Very good call there. We could like main deck one of the Settle the Wreckages. Certainly would be unexpected and probably very good in the meta. I mean, is Bitter Blossom a possibility? Honestly, 2 to 3 copies of landing seems. I mean, what about something like Bitter Blossom even? What's the E-price on this these days? Not bad. We could probably get a copy or 2. I mean, how many Bitter Blossoms do we want, potentially? Or is like this supposed to be a play set here, and then we slim some of our other jank? Bitter Blossom is the best. I just didn't mention it because of the budget. No, we should be playing. We should be playing strong cards. Literally as many as possible. Yeah, we can make that happen. We're gonna get away with 23 land? Something like this. I'm just thinking about where our lands are being activated, or sometimes they're tapped lands. These are activated here. This is technically active up in here. Here to be polymorphed, here to attack. Legion's Landing, when it flips, is over here. We'll leave it in the ones. This looks good. Let's price it though, because I think that's what this is going to come down to. I think this is pretty straightforward. Let's do an export. Okay, open a new copy. We'll cut everything that I don't have. We'll cut everything that we already have for the deck and do a price check and see if we need to cut like a Sorin or a Bitter Blossom here or there. Alright, deck looks like a lot of fun. I love having random combos and otherwise fair looking decks. Honestly, that's a lot of tapped land. So maybe one less Tar Pit, one more Field of Ruin. Did you notice my sideboard has very little for something like Tron? Alright. So yeah, this is the opened version. So cut, we have those, we have these. We have a path, we have our hand hate already. We've got most of the mana base except for the tar pits and the fields. We need this whole section. Already have our Emrakul. We should be able to get away with one because we can always Thoughtseize or Brutality it. We have the Brutalities. We have the Stroke. One of the Counter Squalls. We got the Explosives already from a different. So actually, this might be less than 80 tickets. If this is all we need to actually play the deck. Let's export this. Oops. Minutes. I mean, it's too late for us to go into a different archetype now, I think, for Dovin. I mean, I was excited about the notion of maybe trying to brew around the Thopters itself. It just didn't look like that tribe had enough support. Unless we wanted to do something like a Wombo combo with, what's his name? Whenever we cast an artifact, we make a Thopter and then do something kind of bursty. I mean, I've seen like turbo modern decks that are just like turbo built around that, or Monastery Mentor. Really, really cool concept. I think we played a deck that, yeah, we tried that archetype at some point. Psy, Master Thopterist, and Mentor deck. That and a Cheerios shell would be really sweet. We should have thought about brewing that, like a Cheerios shell. Cheerios has been using Mentor for some time now, but it gets me going, thinking about that idea. Where did I save it? Desktop? I thought I saved it to my desktop. Jeez. It is a little bit more than we have. Oh no, this is the previous deck. Clear. Where did I save you? What did I save you as? Desktop. Alright, load. Oh man, we got plenty of. If we wanted to, we could go more expensive. Yeah, it's only 68 tickets. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Paradoxical Psy could be fun. Alright, token decks don't board for Greentron. It's very, very difficult. Don't worry. Don't bother giving it slots. Having things like Surgical and Stony would be better. I understand. Okay. So should we grab a Surgical? Pretty expensive for even just one. Oops. I didn't add it. So it's nice that we're going to get the art that we wanted. We could even bling this out a little bit if we wanted to. Both Bitter Blossom and Tar Pit have prettier versions. They are all out of this version, though, but for good reason. Alright, well, let's not just fritter away our clock, right? If anything, we want to end the clock earlier than the 45 it takes, just for the sake of I have work tomorrow. But also just to see if we can do it sooner. It'd be nice to have the pretty tar pits. They are also sold out of that. Go figure. Damping Sphere isn't the worst. Hating Storm is a good idea. Okay. I'll pick up some Damping Spheres. Any other suggestions to pick up so we have some stuff to play around? I'd rather not make another order. I thought I had Damping Spheres. Maybe I don't. Yeah, Sphere is fine. Without Snapcaster Mage, we even have less anti-synergy. I don't have any. Okay, I'll pick some up. They're still so cheap. There's so much drafting of Dominaria that happened on Moto, so it's also only an uncommon. So it's a, even though it's a powerful card that a lot of people have been using, it's understandable. So I do feel like we didn't necessarily brew around Dovin, I'll admit. But, and I know why you said extra Legion's Landings. I know why. The reason has to do with you wanted me to be able to get a threat onto the table the turn before we dove in. That's fair. So maybe we should be playing a second Legion's Landing. Let me pick up a second one. They're cheap, doesn't matter. Yeah, I can see that being the split that we're supposed to do. I'm just trying to catch up on chat. So do we want the Search for Escanta? Do we want... Are these the things that we want? I left the playset in of Rays. It does, right. So Legion's Landing and Rays are what play the best with Dovin. I mean, I don't think I would divert from a playset of Souls. I might divert from the playset of Bitters. Maybe it's too much hand hate as well. 3 Inquisition, 2 Thoughtseize, 1 Brutality. Is that too much? We'll also have to cut some sideboard. I mean, one of these hand hate spells could be one of the other brutalities. Again, we're a Lingering Souls deck, so we'll get a lot of use out of brutality versus other decks. What other decks could, I should say. Don't think you need Settle. Honestly, that's the average hand hate. Yeah, you're fine, Dry. Yeah, I'm thinking that too, potentially. I also don't know if we need double planes. The only double white spell in the deck is the Settle, and you keep telling me that we don't need it. So... I mean, granted, with 2 or more Field of Ruin, I do feel as though I want 2 basics. I mean, an extra basic. Honestly, Escanta might be the cut. Really? And then we're just a splash of blue. Blue for... Well, then we wouldn't want double Hallowed Fountain. We'd want double Godless Shrine. Actually, that's where we should have been going for a while now. Escanta isn't needed. Okay. Right, our advantage comes from our Planeswalkers. I'm with you. I can get behind that. Randios thinks we're going to have a hard time finding polymorph. I mean, I don't think the solution is necessarily draw spells. It might just be running more polymorph effects. If we're not going to run draw spells, then just make it so that we have it more often. That would be more copies of Proteus Staff, which I'm all about. I'm fine with even a second copy. I think this still looks nice. Do we need 23 land? It's hard to say. The solution is we just don't need poly. I like the polymorph. I'm into it. I mean, Proteus Staff is arguably the better one because it's better against spot removal. Like, if anything, in the dark, I know this is faster to get the Emrakul. I'd rather just go all in on the Proteus Staff. I know it's more mana, but it also gives us redos. Like, lets us retry. So, Also, if they have Kolaghan's Command, it's not a big deal. We can just wait till we have 6 mana, we can play it and then activate it before they get the Kolaghan's Command off. And Proteus Staff is strong in the fact that it doesn't target. Like, it just says... Oh, no, it does say put target creature. Never mind. So they could wait till we use the ability. Poly's better because of the shock value. I think it's hard to say which is better. So you like Polymorph just because all of a sudden we just do it. Fair enough. I like the Proteus Staff though. You make a good point. So you wouldn't play even the second copy of Proteus? How much time we got? 7 minutes. Yeah, I can see the merit to playing another Legion's Landing. Even though it's legendary, you still make the dude. So maybe another Legion's Landing is an idea. The second Brutality, again, might be a sideboard card, and then we cut down on the settles. I like the idea of settle. I understand why you think it's weak right now. I happen to like the card, so I kind of like testing out one copy of it. Alright, I wouldn't have touched Proteus, but if I did, it'd be 1 tops. So what about maybe second Legion's Landing, just because it has Dovin Synergy. It's another reasonable turn 1 token. We do definitely want to be able to flip this potentially. This is like lands number 24 and 25, right, chat? This gives us some staying power in the late game that's token based, which I'm into. Alright, my question is, what matchup were you hoping to beat because you had Settle? Phoenix, Hollow One. Those are a couple decks off the top of my head that I like Settle for. We played against an Eldrazi-tron today. That might be a useful place for it. It's another good idea. What's another good matchup for that? Dredge, obviously. I mean, decks that have creatures, like, it's a one-sided Wrath. Settle's good against humans too, right? Think of it like 23 and a half. I mean, without cantrips, I think we definitely... So we're basically just splashing blue for a couple of sideboard counterspells. Dovin and Gideon. I mean, I think between Gideon and Settle, and the fact that a lot of the deck is white, I think I'm perfectly fine with running second planes and some fields. Oh, and the Proteus Staff, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gets blown up by Kite Sail. Why not just play Worship? Ooh. I think I have a Worship. I do have a Worship. Even though it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Worship. Bow down. Alright. I can get behind that. Card's pretty bonkers. Maybe something like this. It is indeed Brandio. Oh my goodness. One of my buddies Blaze was mad about the MTG Arena shuffler. Alright, so do we like this build? Yeah? Yay? Nay? I mean, I'm happy. We get to keep the Proteus staff. Card is indeed sweet. I'm fine if so. I mean, I still think for Gideon alone, and the fact that the deck looks to be mostly white, especially given how the sideboard looks, I think second planes is where we want to be. Think it's Gucci? You like it? I think we came to a nice consensus. What say you, Lil Corn? Should we stuff and absorb or something weird in this thing? I mean, we're the only time we're instant speed is what? When we're activating some of our land-based stuff, sideboard cards, the raise the alarms, and the paths. Like, the raise the alarms are going to be really important post-board when we're operating off of a little bit of counter magic, some of these instant speed interactions. So I am trying to make the deck a lot more tap-out Esper style, and I think that's where Esper really excels, between the hand hate and powerful cards like Lingering Souls. Some of the, some really powerful Planeswalkers are in Esper colors. I mean, we could even be playing like a sideboard Liliana instead of like the Persecution. Last Hope Lily. Looks like you made a thing. You're not impressed. Oh, we don't have a Liliana Last Hope. I like Lily. She makes tokens, right? She does, technically. Lily over Zealous. I don't know if we have enough tickets for her, actually. We'd have to cut something else. Right. Oh, no, maybe not. 86. Let's go to checkout, see if we can. 83. Can we shave off? It might be as simple as cutting, like, one tar pit. Oh, no, it's not. Actually, we're only on... Were we going to play 3 tar pits? I think we talked about that, didn't we? I think I was only going to play 2. 3 fields is a lot of fields, actually. But I see Jessica get away with it all the time. I'm just trying to see if I can get us into the Liliana. We could optimize this. Oh, we don't need the settles anymore. There you go. Close. It's like $1 off. Oh, we don't need this counter scroll. I already have one. Got there. Alright, Nassif ran mainboard Rip in blue-white. Really? It's interesting. I mean, there is a lot of graveyard decks on Moto right now. Everybody's jamming the Phoenix deck because it's the flavor of the week. Liliana Last Hope is pretty bonkers when you think about it. I remember when she came out and people were like, it's not that good, and this is really good. It's really, really good, actually. This is really good. Good card. Alright, okay. What do we think? We probably want 2 tap lands total. Why don't you do Shambling Pit? Okay. Oh, that's the alarm. Alright, I guess we're done. Alright, I'll buy the deck and just stick that in there. This time I'm not going to close it in case we... Well, no, I think this is going to be the last of the day anyway. But Brian, definitely, if you're still here, Brian Ruther, definitely be thinking about what you want me to brew around. I'm looking forward to it. This might just be a better format for what I'm able to do. Just especially due to work and there we go. Work and yeah, I wasn't able to handle the queue, and I'm sorry for that, guys. You know, that's like the second time I've disappointed you guys, but it certainly won't be the last. No, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, we all make mistakes, right? And I thought that the queue was a good idea. that worked for some other streamers, and then I got a job as an engineer, and it wasn't an option, or it wasn't as easy for me to stream as much with you guys. And I think this format, this idea, the 50-minute or less, we'll get it down. It'll eventually become a truly speedy process, I think. Alright, let me just get the cards and then we're good to go. This is good practice for me, right? Speed brewing. In fact, by the time we're done, chat, speed brewing will become an actual Magic the Gathering sport. I'm kidding. Maybe. That'd be really cool. That would be really cool. I don't know how they would do that. You'd have to have like a store, be able to borrow any card. I mean, Moto is a place to actually do this, right? We can just get into decks very, very quickly, in and out of decks. What kinds of things do I engineer? Right now I'm on a contract with a company that works on a contract for another company, because that's how contract work works. So I'm hired by the first company, which is good. So it's not like it's not like I'm on a solo contract. It's a group contract. It's a company to company contract, and we help design gas main for gas that they're putting in New Jersey. It's interesting. Technically, I'm being trained as a utility engineer, which is not exactly what I intended to go into, to be perfectly honest with you guys. I studied mechanical engineering with a minor in biomedical engineering. That's what I really wanted to do, especially after I got to work with a child. I don't talk about that story all that much with you guys, do I? I don't know if I've mentioned to you guys that I had the opportunity to work with some kids in college and design prosthetics. That was a really cool experience. Definitely the kind of thing, if I could do it again, I absolutely would jump on it. It says order's been confirmed. By the way, real quick shout out to Card Hoarder. They're great. And I just want to show off their merch real quick. This doesn't benefit me in any way. This is just a way of me showing thanks to them. It's because of what they do for streamers like me that I'm able to bring you this fresh content, even though I'm not as big as some of your other streamers that'll just throw deck lists at you. So real quick, they've got a playmat. Looks like a different material. It's interesting. The tokens are... I actually bought tokens from the last set. I have them. The spirit tokens are actually really sweet. But no, just for the record, they didn't put me up to any of this. I like showing my appreciation just because. So like, here, let me show you. Right? Normal spirit tokens, right? So I've got a bunch of different varieties, right? You got your conspiracy and some like the core set spirit tokens. I got a lot of spirit tokens, right? And a bunch of zombies too, because I play Liliana and Pauper. So I've got a bunch of, I've got a whole army of zombies just in case I get the emblem off while I'm at the event. Lots and lots of zombies just in case. You never know when you're going to need a pile of zombies, especially if you're playing Liliana. It's always fun to have a nice little stack of zombies in your deck box. But these, so these, the ones that they just came out with, Angel, Wolf for your Huntmaster, Goblins, Legacy Goblins. A buddy of mine plays Legacy Goblins. I was trying to get him some of these for his birthday, maybe. The Elemental is kind of sweet for like Young Pyromancer. Soldiers, there's a lot of different soldier cards. And then, of course, if you're playing Batterskull, I really like this Germ. Of course, there's the Brian Branduin Germ token, but I really like the look of this Germ out of this whole set. The Angels are cool, too, if you're, I don't know, playing Entreat the Angels. But the last token set was really weird, like, what tokens they decided to do. Because only really the Thopters and the Spirits make a lot of sense. And the Zombies, too, are pretty cool. Like, I would definitely Ultimate Liliana and use these if I had the monies. But these Spirits, I really, really like these Spirits. I only picked up 4. I wish I'd picked up more. They have a different back now. This was the old back, was the Isle of Cards, and then they actually closed that down. This is what it looks like up close. I love playing with these at events in my local FNM. I always get somebody that's saying, like, wow, like, these are really cool tokens. Where did you get them? And then I'll tell people about Card Hoarder and what they do for me. The Thopters are actually cool, too. It's got like a little bit of like notation on it. I haven't seen the new back. Okay, so it's just a generic Card Hoarder back now. So they really upped their merch. Again, I'm just trying to stall for while we get the cards. But they really do a lot for me. The shirts are great too. I own this one and this one. They're very comfortable. I'm not just saying that. I'm literally wearing one right now because they are really comfy, just soft shirts. Anyway, you got sleeves and dice and stuff, so all the stuff you need. Let's see if that order is in. Nice. Do they have clues? No, they don't have clues. I should tell them that they should get clue tokens. I just picked up the spirits. I had the other tokens too. I bought a variety pack, and I don't remember what I did with the other ones. I guess I just didn't use them as much as the spirits, and they got mixed in with some of my other bulk or something. But the spirits were definitely useful. I still have some Thopters, because that was back when I thought Thopter Sword was going to be a thing. So I ended up with, 20, maybe not that many, but 16 Thopters from their set. And they're not even blue, so they're technically not the right Thopter, but they were sweet. They were definitely sweet. If I had been playing Standard when everybody was jamming all sorts of different Thopters, and during Kaladesh, absolutely would have. I'm glad that we even got to pick up the Liliana and the Bitter Blossoms for this. So, we got classic polymorph in there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Worship. That's what I think of when I see the Amonkhet invocations. Alright, let's screenshot this, let's export this, let you guys get your hands on it. Thank you so much for doing another speed brew with me. Nick, thank you so much for the tier 3 sub and gifting Melfina a sub. I really, really appreciate the support lately. Hornet Queen insects would be sweet. Official ones are $4 US at the moment. I did not realize that, Captain Altitude. I'm half suspicious Lily isn't right. Third rest in peace seems good. We're also a Lingering Souls deck, so they won't expect the rest in peace. Rest in peace is very good right now. I mean, I might even be in league to cut, the Timely or something. I don't know if we need it. It seems like overkill. I think between the Legions and the Brutalities, I think well, Bitter Blossoms, though, we're going to struggle a little bit. Why don't we just leave it as is? Because technically we finished building it right at the end of the clock. And I did cave last time dry. I did change something after the timer was over. But I think I'm supposed to... Just to you know what? I'm going to pick up some tickets. For you guys... I'm going to do it. Especially since we just got all that support. I feel guilty not putting it in a league. You guys want to see this thing in a league, don't you? Sure, money's tight. Money's always going to be tight. That's the thing. I was talking to some friends of mine, and it's like the way that psychologically we live, it's hard to break that habit of when your standard of living goes up. For example, a lot of the extra money that I'm making now got sucked up into my living expenses now, right? My living expenses doubled, tripled when I moved. So it's like I moved for the job to make money, but now it costs more money to make money where I'm making the money. Does that make sense? Fair Lily isn't even terrible. I just want to stick to my guns dry, and I'm not doing it just because I'm being lazy. It's literally I want to make good on what I was saying about be a man of my word. That's the most important thing, really. But also just earlier I felt guilty that we made a couple of changes to the rug deck the last second. I'm glad we did. I think it did better because of them. But moving forward, I'd like to actually brew the deck within whatever we set the timer to. Otherwise, what's the point of the timer if I'm not going to respect it? Let's play another league. Let's do another league. So I literally have a Pauper league going, another Modern league going with the Bring to Light Scape Shift, and now we've got this Grand Arbiter, this speed brew of Dovin. If you missed the earlier speed session, we did a Rampage of the Clans brew. I was just going through the list and I thought this was sweet. Has a very powerful interaction with cards like Hatching Plans. I think that we didn't do the right build. I think that there is a stronger build that this card possesses that we did not discover. I'll go ahead and screenshot this for all the new folks that missed this earlier. This deck was sweet. We went 2-3. For a prototype, you know, that's not all that bad. Admittedly, I expect a similar record from this tokens deck, but maybe. How many lands did we end up? 23. 23. Yeah, 17 that are fast colored, 2 that are tapped colored, 4 colorless, but like at least these change color. We don't have very high color requirements. Outside of Liliana and Gideon, like our color requirements are very low, I would say. Very, relatively negligible. Maybe we should be on double swamp though, just because of not only Lily, but we're not going to be turn 1ing Path. Well, maybe turn 1 Legion's Landing, but I could see us wanting to have black mana turn 1 more often with the deck, just due to the Thoughtseizes and the Inquisitions. Maybe, especially with the addition of Liliana and cutting some of those other white cards, maybe this is a double swamp single planes deck. I'm just thinking about the logistics of not wanting to take a lot of damage off of our hand hate as often. Let's do that. We're not really changing anything significant, right? Just changing a basic land. It's not a big deal, right? And we're going to get the mana base wrong from time to time. Maybe what I'll say is, let's not change like actual cards, but maybe fixing the mana base is something we're allowed to do after the timer's up. Like, maybe adding actual cards is not okay. Maybe like fiddling with basic lands. I don't know. We'll figure out the rule set for this eventually. This is basically just a glorified tokens deck with a blue splash for greed. Better explosives. Some jank. I love it. I'm into it. Let's play. I didn't cue us with the last version, did I? Yeah, I think double swamp is correct. Definitely double Godless Shine is correct, but I do think that double swamp is correct, especially with the addition of Liliana. Also, you have to think about the fact that it's easier to fix ourselves into white in the late game for Gideon, especially with fielding and stuff, whereas Liliana, we definitely want to be able to slam her onto the table game 3. I know, I'm just burning tickets, but it's fun. Alright, Kami says, I don't think we want intangible virtue if we're playing polymorph. Kind of seems like two different game plans. They're not synergistic. I totally see what you're saying. You must also know, though, Kami, and this is me not trying to say that you're wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is intangible Emrakul was an archetype at some point. Why do you think it was called intangible Emrakul? You could say something snarky like, because, oh, thanks, Brian. Holy crap, Brian. Don't get me in the habit of complaining like that. I really appreciate that. I was happy to do it. Now, just because my standard of living has gone up, like, I have actual, genuine, bona fide income. It's not salary. It's hourly, right? It's CAD work. It's nothing all that glamorous, but it's actual work. It's a good thing. Sean is, BrewSpy. I'm moving up in the world, right? I'm figuring out the universe, so to speak. Adulting, if you will. It's good. It's a good change. It's going to take some time for me to adjust, though. Still have not adjusted fully. Alright, having multiple game plans isn't the worst idea. Don't think they're purely anti-synergistic. I see where Kami Nook is coming from, though. I don't think Kami is wrong at all in what he's saying, but it was an archetype. Like, my mind definitely thought of intangible virtue the second I thought of it. Alright, this hand seems fine. Pluck a polymorph effect off the top, good to go. I'm kidding. We're probably going to play the fair game a lot, especially since we didn't add cantrips, right, other than Dovin, technically. What else? We, yeah, we only dedicated 5 slots to the combo, well, 6 slots. So that's a relatively small combo, right? Just Emrakul and 5 polymorph effects, that's it. The rest of the deck is pretty straightforward. Let's go turn 1 Inquisition. Mulliganed. So we have Path for the Confidant. The Brutality takes my Path. We don't care about the Abrupt Decay at all. I do very much care about the Liliana, so I think it's a pretty easy decision. She's quite good against us. Dry says take Lily. No, I know. It's good to think about it, though. But yes, there was not much thinking to be had. Ooh, drew a Thoughtseize. Well, our hand's pretty bad. Alright, the way you want to think of this deck is like the opposite of Twin. Your tempo with combo, not combo with tempo. Right. So end step, we'll make our dudes. We get to attack with 1. This is not looking too good for us, guys. Opponent has 3 cards. I have essentially no cards. Like in this matchup, they very much need to read something. Ooh. Hello. Kind of tempting him to kill this soldier token, aren't I? Tarmogoofy. So now he's in this interesting predicament of, do I kill the soldier, get him with a confidant, or do I just play the Tarmogoofy? Plays the Tarmogoofy. A brutality, so we can take out his confidant. I mean, I think I just want to slam Sorin and plus, don't I? And sit on the tokens. No, we probably are supposed to take out the confidant, right? I mean, we're letting him draw to the land he kind of needs. It's kind of foolish. Right? Could you just Sorin? I think you take out the confidant. Try things, hit confidant, yeah. Pitch the field. Ooh, Tarmogoyf tracker. So we can take the brutality. Brutality has more options for them. I don't really think I care about the abrupt decay. There's a couple cards that we have that care about this abrupt decay, but I think the brutality is more significant this game anyway. Let's take it. Lingering Souls. Okay, so you Sorin here, right? No, this is not a board state to Sorin at all, unless we're minusing. If we Sorin minus, that's still just chumping. We're just chumping a bunch. Which seems bad. Souls, then we can have Sorin and then swing. Right, we want to do the blocking after we have the Solemn Visitor effect. Decides not to do anything. He wants to sit on the Abrupt Decay. I really wanted to know that my last card is a Marsh Flats. Yeah, so Sorin plus. Now our whole team has lifelink, so our blocks are more significant. We know his hand is Abrupt Decay, Tracker. So I think we just swing one Spirit, right? I think we want to hang back. Well, no, I probably should have swung 2 creatures. This is a little lukewarm from me. Opponent's deciding just to maybe Abrupt Decay that Spirit even. It's good that we're diversified and we don't just have spirits. Okay. No, this is a really cool effect. The fact that it persists into the next turn is sweet. Gets his clue. Swing. Technically, I only have to block 1. I do not have to block both. Unless this last card grows the Tarmogoyf somehow. Or this soldier doesn't get to... I'll just play it safe. We got a flashback Lingering Souls next turn. I hope he doesn't hit a Maelstrom Pulse. Inquisition, we can see what the last card is. Might be nothing, might just be another land. Could be a Fatal Push. Should we just keep plussing Sorin and hope that we can get to the ultimate, or do I have to start minusing? Oh, it's a Dismember. Alright, so if we flash back Lingering Souls plus Sorin. The problem is the emblem doesn't take effect until the... I mean, it wouldn't be enough. Unless we draw like a token generation spell, I can't really go for the ultimate on this Sorin. Which, I mean, trust me, it would slowly but surely take away his board, but we don't have that benefit. The tracker's going to start to run away with the game, especially with a Field of Ruined. Ruined. I also probably should have played the Marsh Flats, not just to thin. Why are we going to give up that card to a Liliana? And then I'm also making it so if we top deck Polymorph, it's hard to get the blue source. Yeah, I mean, we kind of had a... Exactly. Not the best of draws. See what he does. That's on 0 cards. He could, like, cycle the clue into a removal spell. Technically, this would kill the tracker. We would gain enough life that we don't lose. Is this an ambitious block? Absolutely, this is ambitious what I just did. We got to see him drawing perfectly in real time. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, it does. Alright, so there's that island that we kind of need. So we go to 2. Polymorph isn't even enough anymore because we're at 2. Well, time to sideboard. Worship seems good. Purge. Explosives. What's weak? Probably poly combo against John. You can probably pick that apart. Bitter Blossom would have been nuts. Like, we have a lot of powerful cards in this matchup. Just didn't quite get there. Brutality kills Confidant. Rest in Peace turns off Goyf. That's about all that it does. But then it turns off the back half of my Lingering Souls. I don't think that's obviously not worth it. Timely could be good. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. It happens. You cut one hand hate spell. Try the counter scroll out. We'll have better than a medium draw this time, hopefully. Hopefully they don't have technology for the tokens deck. See, this hand seems reasonable. Maybe a little bit land heavier than I want to be in an opening hand again, but I think overall it's fine. You know, the Sorin did look really good. I wish I'd had an Intangible Virtue. That would have been like the nuts Sorin alongside the Intangible Virtue. Imagine he takes the Sorin here. Unless the Explosives is really good against his hand. Yeah. Okay, so his hand's definitely more long term. Ooh, Gideon. That's sweet. I mean, a lot of times you are going to set Explosives to 2, but I'm not going to put it out there. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Yeah, truth. Well, maybe I still should have taken the Maelstrom Pulse. This sounds scary. Could try to get him to spend the Maelstrom Pulse on the Lingering Souls. Possibly. One of his Thoughtseize is down, so we might not lose the Gideon anytime soon. Right, exactly. I don't think we're in that much of a trouble. I mean, would you just slam Gideon here, or are we just supposed to Souls? It's probably just Souls, right? Tokens, like Calidus doesn't even, it's non-token creatures, so we don't have to worry about that effect. Ah, there goes my vault. Yeah. Truth. But that's the reason to play Rock, is you get access to the full suite of Field of Ruin. They play the entire set. So this is just a glorified Calidus. Just a glorified 3/4 actually is what I mean. Nothing special about it. Souls, don't want Gideon to eat the Pulse. Brian with the biddies. I appreciate you. Huh. Probably should swing there, but is there a universe where I would quadra block? Now he knows to save the Maelstrom Pulse. Yeah, Calidus does not seem that strong against a deck that's mono tokens, but then again, maybe he didn't have anything better to bring in. He goes for the Pulse. It's the Swamp, so he has got 2 unknowns. I mean, if we get him, we obviously 0. So even if you saw the delta, so even if you know, we're losing out, so to speak, on the Gideon somehow, at least we get to keep the Knight. He's making signals as if he had an answer for the Gideon, like his hand was double Maelstrom Pulse potentially. I mean, that doesn't kill Gideon, so. Treetop, huh? That's a problem. So the trample is very relevant there. But we have a Shambling Vent that's going to get into the fray now. Gosh, Intangible's so good. It's very good in our deck. I mean, I kind of wish we were playing 2 copies of it. Because at least the Anthem on it stacks. We probably should be playing 2 Intangibles, but it's fine. Alright, let's animate the vents. The problem with this is we do make him a token. To be honest though, the card really is poor in multiples. So many situations where it's ignored are not great. Show me Abrupt Decay. Show me, okay. I'm happy with how that turned out. Sure. Now we draw the path. Of course we draw the path now. Just doing that so I can get in. Gideon is pretty ridiculous. Who'd have thunk Planeswalkers with 0 loyalty abilities would be so powerful? Well, think about Jace, right? He's got a 0. Yeah, we're just starting to run away with this Gideon. Just think about how different this game would have been if we didn't have that Miser's intangible though, right? No, I think it'd be pretty busted if it was a plus. Assuming this isn't going to hit anything. Technically it did. course it's a fetch. It's really late, guys. I think I might be dead. I almost said dead. I might be done for the night, but we can finish this league on another night. I really think that this was something spectacular. I think we're finally figuring out what the Brew Spy the Magic Guy show was made for. Only took us 4 years and some change to figure out what we were meant for, you know? You don't always find your life's purpose easily, right? Sometimes it takes time. These things take time. You know? Also, Liliana in our deck doesn't actually minus into anything significant. I just thought about that. Anyway. Something to think about. So I really just want these gobbled up by the Tarmogoyf. Well, yeah, we're forcing some blocks now, so, yeah. That's what I was trying to tell you. Brian says, yeah, I like this build. Was this your idea, Dry? Somebody in the chat was telling me that I should do some sort of brief timed... Was it your idea, Dry? Somebody in the chat the other day was telling me I should time the brews and like do a live brew thing. If it was you, take credit for it, man. I'm not gonna sit here and parade as if it was my idea. I think I mentioned in the Discord and Facebook and whatnot posts that I didn't do it. I just said tokens are great. Oh, okay, you're talking about the deck specifically. No, somebody in the chat like started giving me ideas towards this concept of me doing like a brewing session in a smaller window of time and then playing it immediately afterwards. And holy Garrick, Primal Hunter, Batman. Thank goodness he doesn't get to minus it and draw a million cards. We win though, right? Yeah, we win. Getting an attack. Oh my gosh, the match isn't even over? Whew. Let's run it back. I like the configuration. Unless you guys can think of a reason to get this Thoughtseize in. I don't see a reason to do so. We haven't found Dovin yet, by the way. I'm sorry, Nick. Alright, I like brewing on stream, but I think you've been doing that for a while, says Brandio. I know, but there's more structure to it now. Alright, I don't think Engineered Explosives is exceptional. No, C's definitely stays out. You think I should have cut the explosives? That's fair. To be honest, I'd rather have had a third Dovin over the staff. Yeah, that way we'd at least see it. For Nick's sake. That's a good point. Yeah, I did mention earlier that when we have our Build-Around card, we should try to include as many copies of it as make sense for the deck, just so that we see it and get to enjoy it together. Scavenging ooze. Oh, excuse me. Would be a shame if I drew a million lands and escalated this. Languish. Last Hope Lily, great. Is this a situation where I don't slam the Liliana of my own? Good thing raise the alarms end step. I think I do play my own Liliana though, don't I? Well, he's got Treetop. That would be kind of dumb of me, wouldn't it? Well, opponent just minus their Lily, though. We can get them. With the raise the alarm, we could get the Lily potentially. Or we could slam a Dovin. I think it's raise the alarm end step. We finally drew the Dovin. I think we raise the alarm end step and try to kill off the Lily. He's definitely gonna plus her. Don't get me wrong, but depending on what he does, we might get to pick up the Lily, right? I think playing any of my other walkers doesn't really make sense. Like if we play Lily on a Last Hope, we're just plussing. He gets to hit it with the treetop, and then his Lily still goes up. If we play Dovin, we're plussing it and nothing happens. We're just giving him loyalty. Yeah, I think it's end step, crack this for a shock land. End step raise. I mean, one of these might die to like a fatal push or something, you know, but. You guys are awfully quiet in chat. I mean, obviously, it's not a great spot to be. Tracker, okay. Tracker fetch, that's unfortunate. But the good news is we get to put these in, and we get to Liliana his tracker. It won't kill the tracker, but it'll shrink the tracker, so that yeah. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the bow ties. Does my heart good. So much black mana. Is that even correct? We definitely want blue. It doesn't really matter, I guess, which shock we get there. Tangible. Oh, okay, or we can just do that. That seems really... Gosh, this card's been really good each time we've seen it, guys. Oh, I was supposed to play the Field of Ruin, because I could have ruined the tree... Well, no, we don't want to do that while the tracker's still in play. This card's been really good each time we've seen it. We get to kill the Lily here. Honestly, I should have attacked Lily and then him instead. Like, I don't think he's going to have the tracker jump in front of the Lily, especially since we have the intangible. I think that attack for me was actually incorrect. Like, and now we're not taking out the treetop this turn, and we're leaving him alone with the tracker. It's not good. It's not good. To be fair, Soren would have done the same thing. Grindfest and tangible can be excellent. Yeah. So here's the problem with this block. He's got a bunch of clues. That's the problem with that block. Against more hardcore control, it'll feel a lot worse. Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing about Virtue. It won't always feel so good. There are other ways we could try to get the vigilance going, maybe. I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Isn't there like a random Ajani or some other planeswalker that'll give you vigilance to creatures? That might be a better way to do it, honestly. It doesn't give vigilance to your whole team, though. Am I thinking of... Is that an Ajani effect? There's Elspeth. If we want to jump over things, but we already have flying. I don't know. I'm still shuffling those spirit tokens I told you guys about. They are sweet. I've been shuffling my, because I'm getting ready for an event this coming weekend. I've been shuffling my my shadow deck a lot. I like the configuration. Maybe not card for card. I am borrowing a surgical for the event. That's a great mausoleum sequence target. For whatever reason, I don't actually have a paper surgical right now. He decides not to crack any clues. Interesting. Ooze, and there are creatures. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so So we could field the treetop into... I know, I don't like doing this with the tracker, but in play, but yeah, it's still probably incorrect. We're just giving him more clues. In fact, he can flip mana here and then crack a clue for free. I probably shouldn't field the treetop. It's probably not worth it. Mistake! Yep. Yeah, it's a mistake. No, mistake. Mistake. A mistake. Mistake. A mistake. So which Planeswalker do you even play here? Ooze only has one target, so if we Lily... Hierarchs are very expensive right now. Lands are always a good investment. Hierarch, not as much. Go ahead and splurge for the lands, my friend, because they're probably not coming back down. Hierarchs... No, Hierarchs are never coming down either, but those go into more specific decks. Honestly, play Dovin and just start the value train. Well, but the problem with Dovin is we're just giving a soldier away to the Scavenging Ooze because there is a creature in the yard for the Ooze to grow off of, whereas if I go Lily... If I go Lily, we can attack with the soldiers. I see why you think it's Dovin, though, Communuk, but also remember, we want to make sure that we can actually justify the attack from these guys. Like, I don't think throwing away a soldier token just to get a extra loyalty on Dovin is correct. He's going to get a lot of extra cards, and we're probably going to lose now. I mean, sure, we have a Planeswalker, but she might just get Maelstrom Pulsed or something. Like, that's how bad the board state is that we might have to consider minusing Dovin. And he's definitely designed in such a way that there are plenty of board states where you're going to minus him once or twice and never plus him, because you just need the blockers. And the fact that we're gaining life as we make the Thopters is kind of nice. Alright, so there go those, and then he gets to punch and kill my Lily, and we probably lose the game. Whee! But that's Tireless Tracker for you, man. If you don't answer that card, it's pretty easy to lose. This is where I wish I had sweepers that we don't have. Alright, let's stop complaining. Snap back into it, BrewSpy. Come on. Alright, Dovin. Make a Thopter. Go. Even though the game looks over, it's not over. Just because it looks that just because it looks like it's over doesn't mean it's over. Also, if we draw a Lingering Souls, remind me to not pass priority to the opponent because of Scavenging Ooze. It's not like they have trample. We can block a lot. We can block a lot. And Raise the Alarm might catch him by surprise if he doesn't hand hate me here. Wish we'd had the counterspell for the Maelstrom Pulse. It would have been nice. So when you say janky, what kind of nightfall are we talking about, Brandio? I mean, obviously we're talking Retreat to Corehelm night. But what other janky you got in there, my friend? My back's killing me. I need a pillow. The official BrewSpytheMagicGuy pillow. BrewSpy's back needs it. Alright, he's got a Brutality here. cards. Reveal, kill, drain. Alright, so let's make dudes. You like that product placement? No, my back really was hurting though. I didn't mean to show it to you guys. Alright. It's got some incubations, incongruity, and drift. Oh, Drift of Phantasms is kind of neat. Extra copies of the enchantment. That's cool. So slow. Yeah, I can imagine. I can certainly imagine. When we take out polymorph, is it possible that we could cut a blue source? Like, is it possible we could have run fewer lands? Creature. Nope. Guess I hope to see Sorin or Vault of the Archangel. Transmute Drift, Eternal Drift back, Transmute Drift, other combo piece. That is sweet. Confident. Well, we can finally get rid of this tracker. I'm supposed to minus, actually. But maybe that was our spot to plus the Dovin. Another Dark Confidant. That is a sweet line. Yeah, I hadn't thought about recurring transmute spells and using them multiple times in the deck. That's cool. Yeah, that's certainly a thing. Lily. Is this any source or does it have to be a player? Combat damage to a player, okay. Ignoring Dovin. We know his hand is Confidant. So let's see, creature. So he actually doesn't have lethal on me. I just want to make sure the Confidant dies. Alright, just tuned in. Deck looks cool with what I've seen so far. This is the first match. We're 1-1 against this black-green rock player maximum. No, things are good. This is the second speed brew of the day. We did another speed brew that was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. if I do say so. Another Confidant. Bitter Blossom, but like the worst time to see it. So we take out the Lily. Or not, he might block with the Confidant, we'll see. Which he does. Oh, what am I doing? I'm putting us dead. Yeah, we're dead. I should have minus dove and I wasn't thinking about the implications of that attack. So that's game. Speaking of which, but I'm not going to play great when I'm tired like this, guys. I do work early in the morning, so... Sorry to use that as an excuse again, but it's truth. Like, the correct line was minus Dovin, and the game. But he'll see the line to gain. Oh my goodness, the game's indeed. Ugh. Yeah, our next 3 draws were. I wasn't gonna fetch this Marsh Flats when I'm at 4. So Blossom would have been so good though. 5 turns ago. Yes, it would have. Yeah, we had some really powerful cards in the deck, and we just we're 1-1. Oh, no, we're 0-1. Actually, that was our first. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking we played that many matches. We had another league. We went through a whole league tonight with our first speed brew, and then this was another speed brew. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully Nick and everybody else, you can tune back in either tomorrow or the day after. I'm going to try to squeeze another stream. I may not be able to. I do have plans Saturday and I've got plans Sunday, so I may not see you guys until next week. Definitely tune into the Discord. I also put out a message on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, there we go. So there's the Facebook and the Twitter. Please follow those, whichever respective one that you actually use. Otherwise, what's the point? That way you guys know a little bit what's going on. Sometimes if I get time on my lunch break, I'll post a deck list that I'm thinking about playing. I had a few of those today. I want to share them with you. We kind of focused on the new hotness, which is the speed brewing that we're doing now. And I know, like, what was it? Brandio was like, so what's so different, BrewSpy? Oh, did I upload this as the Damage Guild? That's funny. I did not mean to do that. That's hilarious. So yeah, this is the deck we played earlier, and it's gone through a lot of changes. But it's kind of like an eggs meets jank thing. I don't know. It was sweet, though. We actually did get some games on it. But it was a Rampage of the Clans brew. We brewed it in about 50 minutes, and it won a couple games. I think if I was to rebrew it, it'd be some sort of either maybe like in the realm of Cheerios or in the realm of... Actually, this could be really sweet in Cheerios. Like if they stop you from going off and you just have a ton of stuff in play, you're like, okay, now it's all 3 threes. We also thought about Mentor and... like the problem with Cheerios is it's always been a little bit weak to 1-for-1 spot removal. So something along the lines of, don't get me wrong, like Mentor and or Master Thopterist is good, but like this is kind of a cool take on the deck. Obviously, you'd have to go into green, but it's already a Chrome Mox deck, so that's not impossible to get green into the deck. What else is cool is this might also go into some sort of like traditional eggs. I'd have to do some research and see which cards are still legal. I don't know if I'd want to play eggs on Moto. I'd be much more interested in playing like a Cheerios variant. But the potential of this in Cheerios is that if they have spot removal, it doesn't matter. Problem with adding cards is you decrease consistency. Well, yeah, but the Cheerios deck, even since now dry, I totally see what you're saying, but they've added some number. They've tried Paradoxical. They've tried the one that's got like the fancy schmancy Amaket flashback for switching, oh, what is it? Returning everything to your hand, and then it has another mode that's relevant. So it's
They run like a split of that in Hercules Recall or whatever, but and Retract. But I'm with you. But also, you have to realize the deck's really bad right now just because if you are in a matchup where they have the interaction, it's nice to have something like this or something like Paradoxical Outcome. Yeah, leave the chance. Thank you. I almost like this card better than Paradoxical because Paradoxical Outcome doesn't win the game right there. You still have to combo off again. And the deck doesn't run a lot of protection for the creature to go off with. If it's a Mimi combo deck, you bet I've tried it. Fair enough, Drug. Fair enough. This is a cool deck. And then let me log out and log into the BrewSpy version of this. There we go.
So, decks. What else we got? So I'm kind of sad that that showed up over there because now it's not in here. I may put the updated version of that deck into here. The two speed brews that we did today, I kind of want to put into the stream decker just so we have them for posterity's sake. This is the Marvelous Mardudu that you guys maybe saw me put out earlier today because I was a little bored at work. So kind of a Mardu colored take on Aetherworks Marvel. It's got a little bit of Grizzle Breach in there. Just a grindy, and I feel like maybe Nahiri should even be main instead of like the minor. But anyway, yeah, minor's sweet. This is a cool card. Anyway, maybe I should be playing more than one. And then the other deck, which I really want to show you guys, but then we started getting into speed brewing, which I don't regret at all. But this is something else I worked on earlier today. This was a Combo Elves. I roughly based it on Adam Bissnett's top 8. This would have been 3 years ago, was his top 8. And it was a more pure Combo Elves. It was even it was before the Devoted Druid Vizier combo. So I snuck that in there because we're a white splash for Amara anyway. It is an Intruder Alarm combo. He was using Intruder Alarm in his version of Elves. That's how I stumbled upon it. But basically, you've got a few different combos wrapped up into this Elves. You've got Curio plus Heritage Druid plus either Dwynen's Elite or Elvish Visionary. You can kind of boop, boop, boop through the deck. Beck Call, of course, works with that as well. Like if you have Beck and the Dwynen's Elite, it works as well. Since we're in the colors for this, we are in Bant colors, you can actually fuse this card naturally with Elves. You can make a lot of mana. I'm playing Prime Speaker just to try it out. We've also got everything from 1, 2, all the way up to 3 and 4 after board. So I think it might be fine. We'll see. Might be greedy.
Yeah, the Martyr list definitely could be fun to do. Bitter Blossoms would have shredded that guy. I know, right?
It happens though. Don't worry about it. Maybe I should have mulliganed a little bit. It's hard to justify mulliganing against Jund or Rock or Abzan. You know, because you know it's going to go to a top deck war. Their deck is designed to turn it into a top deck war. And then they hope to win that top deck, which the deck is, of course, designed to try to win top deck. So yeah, between Curio, Intruder Alarm, and Beck Call, we've got a lot of different combo elements. The other way that Intruder Alarm works besides Rise or Amara, so Rise works because if you have a Heritage Druid and a few other Elves, you can tap Rise, make a token that triggers the Intruder Alarm, everybody untaps, make the mana again, activate Rise, makes a dude, untap, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it infinitely. Amara works similarly with Heritage Druid. Arguably, she's a little bit easier to pull off, so I might not do the split. I might just have 2 Amaras. She's just better in the dark in a lot of cases. So, because as she attacks and stuff, she'll make dudes, or as you tap her with the Heritage Druid, she'll make lifelink tokens. But anyway, so as you make the tokens, and then you tap her and one other druid or one other elf in addition to the Heritage Druid, you'll make a dude. It'll trigger the Intruder Alarm, make a dude, trigger. Now that also triggers Curio, so we can pick up things like Dwynen's Elite. We can pick up the. I wish I had more creatures like that. And of course, the Nettle Sentinel allows us to combo off even when we don't have Curio. So that's why I'm running a few of those. Anyway, there's something I was working on a little bit. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next Brew Spy. The Magic Guy, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys staying even when I went and made a little bit of dinner and had a phone call. Really appreciate that. That means a lot to me that you guys were still here despite that. What time is it? It's almost midnight already. Let's play a game together. I just picked up Hyper Light Drifter, and by picked up I mean I got it for my Twitch Prime. It's always fun to play a new game for the first time with you guys. I have not played it before. I've heard good things, but I have not played it. So we'll play a little bit of that while I go look for another streamer. I do want to go in and change that we're streaming a different game briefly. We're just doing a little bit of after show. For those of you that don't know what the after show is, it's when we've kind of I've exhausted the brain, my brain, of Magic. We're not going to play quality Magic anymore, especially with that last misplay. I was like, I'm not thinking. If I'm going to make a silly misplay like that, it's just obvious I'm not thinking. Apparently this game plays best with a controller. I'd like to get to the settings so I can bring it over. For those of you that don't know. Is it gonna let me move the game? I've just put it in windowed mode, but it's not letting me click and drag it. Here's what I can do. I can do a window capture. If you guys were dead set on watching another Magic stream, I would like to find you one, however. So let me go ahead and do you guys that service. I'll see if one of my teammates is streaming, for example, real quick. I see Professor French is streaming. I'll try to find you guys another streamer. I'm not necessarily hosting at the moment, but I may do so very shortly. Somebody's playing some Legacy Goblins. Now he's playing something different, though. Nola. Brassman's playing some Chandelar. That's sweet. Let's see. What else is good? Ooh, Landon is playing some Bant Stoneblade. That seems sweet. There's gotta be something sweet to watch. Panza. Wait, that's not Panza. This is not Panza. Punt and Wine is just straight up playing something he's referring to as Green Red Eye. This looks like Panza to me. But I do like Huntmaster. So check him out if you're dead set on watching some more modern. I'll go ahead and put that in our chat. I'm not hosting per se, because I do want to see if I can get this game going.
So our opponent's gonna get to make 1,000,000 tokens.
Making 1,000,000 tokens. It's weird that I can't move the game over. Usually it's as easy as... Alright, let me try to do a game capture then. Should be able to game capture this. Add source, add new source.
giving me hell. Alright, last ditch effort. We can monitor capture the other monitor. Infinite a little bit as I move everything over. There we go. I have heard really good things about Hyperlight. Have you guys played it yet? I'll full screen it after this cinematic. I just need to put it behind my yeah, it got really good reviews. If you've got Twitch Prime, you actually have access to it. You can download it right now. Yeah, just trying to put it behind the overlay. There we go. Can you guys see okay? I know it's cutting off my face, so I'll move this over a little. But BrewSpy faces are important to me. Is it running okay? We good now? You guys see okay? Just coughing up blood. No, this way. But yeah, seriously, is it running semi-okay? The game capture finally went through and it covered everything. Sorry about that, guys. I'm still here. No. I did not know I could do that. I hit spacebar. I was like, instinctually, that probably is what does the things. Enemies!
Blew up his corpse. My energy blade of awesome. At least want to make it through the tutorial so you guys can have a better idea of what the game's like, and me as well. A bunch of enemies. Alright. Really should be using the space bar when I'm in combat like that. It all worked out. That's pretty good, right? So slashing is what charges my guns again. So they kind of want us to be doing both slashing and shooting. That looks scary. Okay, that's what that purple meter is. I gotcha. So I have no shots. I have to break things. Understood. But surely that guy's gonna come alive when I come back down. No? Really? I was thinking to myself, surely he's gonna fight us if we, alright. Oh, real quick, before I go any further, I meant to switch what game we're streaming. This game's ambiance is nice. I heard it's got a good soundtrack too, so can't beat that. Let's try to kill the birds. Alright, it's not letting me switch. Oh, here we go, live actions, there we go. Should be able to switch it on the Streamlabs OBS. Alright, let's go where they want us to go. I feel like they just kind of threw us in here, though. There wasn't really a lot of story you guys got to see. Is that game over? Oh, we were rescued, maybe. shard. We must go get the shard. Understood. Oh, I get that. I think we've got a pretty good idea where this game's going, right? Do I have another warp? Huh. I guess I don't have another warp point yet. Alright, so we're going this way first. No, he was saved by that dude. Nice. Swords, abilities. Pretty basic. Alright, let's see if we can up our weapons. Honestly, though, we should probably go for abilities at this point. Can we not buy anything? Is this just training? Huh. Ah, there we go. Alright, left mouse button. Alright, hold up. Spin attack, or we can cut to get rid of stuff, or we can charge attack. This seems really useful though. Oh, he's saying I don't have enough. What? Huh. Confused. Okay, well, whatever. We're not strong enough to learn those abilities, I guess, is what it's trying to tell me. Still, the cutting and deflecting missiles would be really sweet. Okay, we're in town. That's why I can't attack. Understood. Do you have more to tell me, old man? Yeah. Understood. Nope, didn't mean to click on you again. Just trying to spam through it. Let's go check out the abilities place before we leave town. They might actually... I can't imagine they would give us access to these stores and not let us even unlock one thing, right? Wouldn't that just be too cruel? Let's talk to this guy. Okay, so space, we can double, triple dash, or... shield dash, or an attack, like a thrust. Yeah, that one's kind of cool. Still, I think the defensive ones or the movement ones are better. Okay, so for whatever reason, we do not have the necessary stuffs. Some kind of puzzle. Maybe once we have the dash, we can hit all of them at the same time or something. I have no idea. keyboard guy. See ya. I don't know how long this game is. Just by the by. I'm not exactly sure. I know it said it plays better on a controller, but it's not handling bad for a PC or for a keyboard game. Or on the keyboard, I should say. Ooh. Look, guy tried to ambush me. Part of a circuit. I'm assuming that lets me actually unlock those abilities that I really wanted in town. You guys just don't know when to quit. There's probably going to be like lots of them though. Like I can imagine that actually being hard to fight if they like swarm me. The art in this game is pretty fantastic, I must say. I'm delightfully impressed. Is it just me or does the game slow down a little bit when we're in combat, and is that on purpose? Like it kind of bullet times a little bit? Is it supposed to do that? Or is that just my computer? Like, I feel like it's running okay. Doesn't say I'm dropping any frames. It seems like it's slowing down quite a bit. VSync is on. 60 frames. Oh. I'm streaming at 30. It's just what's going on. Which is good for Magic the Gathering, not so much these kinds of games. So hopefully it runs okay for you guys now. It's much happier with me after that change. It's important that the game is running the same frames as what you're trying to stream at. Absolutely. It wasn't so bad that it was skipping frames, but now it's running very happily. Cool. Yeah, I do really like the art. Some dude. He's saying that guy's up there, huh? Boss. Oh, yeah. Fair enough. You guys interested in seeing, like, the first boss fight? I knew there'd be something down there. See? You just gotta think like the game creators. They're like, nobody's gonna go down these stairs. Oh, we're getting affected again. By the blackness, the shadows. Lurking in the shadows. What's this all about? I don't possess what's necessary to get through that. This is where if I was taking this game super hardcore, I'd like map out this little location. Yeah, they don't even mention it on the map. Can I like leave a thing on there? Let me try that again. Right about here. Okay, so we've almost unlocked the circuit is what it's trying to tell me. So healing, attacks over here, and then I'm assuming some sort of other thingy, 2 weapons, and then whatever dash abilities we learn over there. Okay, understood. But I wish I could mark this location, so I'm going to forget about that little place when we finally have the ability to do it. How do you get to that? Oops. Totally just jumped off a cliff because I was greedy trying to get to that thing. Okay. Nice. Okay. We unlocked a circuit. We're learning. Yeah, I have no idea. Bird people? Ooh. They're not very strong. A little disappointing. I slaughtered all of the bird folk. They never stood a chance. Okay, there's lots of little gems hidden around in the forest. The woods. The wilderness. Nope, I messed that up. Yeah, you do have to actually time it right. It's acting as if they're easy and I took a hit. This game's easy, and then we're dead. We die a million times. Oh, that's a cloud. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the mountains. Oh, look at that big titan. I just noticed that. There's some dude clinging to the... And he's missing the bottom part of himself. Interesting. If you didn't notice in the background. I wouldn't have noticed that. I just thought it was a big mountain. Some dude hanging on the side of the mountain. He's like, how did I get here? I don't know why I climbed this mountain. I should have brought a jacket. You know? And he's just dead. Just Stone Cold Jackson on the side of the mountain. Oh. Come here, you. For what it's worth, I'm enjoying this game, even if you guys are not enjoying it all that much. No, I just wasted a couple of bullets for no good reason. Ooh, okay, that was bad. Wish I had more than just a gun and a sword. Sure. Alright. Sorry, they've got me looking through the woods for items and stuff now. Let's see if we can actually do this dungeon. We weren't able to do the last one. There we go, we got our bullet back.
is all this anyway? Bird god. Bird prey to... Cultists come set fire to... Bird chieftain tell tale of fire. That sucks. I feel kind of legitimately bad for this guy. Nope, we don't want to hear it again, though. Yep. They ruined your home. We get it. Sorry, man. Hey, you're not doing so bad. You got your bird friends. The cultists. You guys have listened to my podcast, right? With a couple high school friends of mine. The cult. It's kind of an early arc in our tale. If you're interested, it's actually a pretty sweet adventure, if I do say so myself. The reason is not even because I'm in it. I'm just kidding, guys. False, fake. What's the word? Fake vanity is the best form of vanity, right? Well, I guess no vanity at all would be the best form of vanity. Oh, what's that all about? But I was going to say, so Jay, who's in the show, he's a sound engineer. That's literally what he does for his job. Like, his actual day job is sound engineering. Oh. Telling me about the cave encounters, it seems. But I was going to say, alright, by random chance I've ever played a game called The Witness. No, I haven't. Do you want to put it into the Discord, Kami? We have a section of the BrewSpy Discord where we put like other games we're playing besides Magic. I would love to take a look at it. Let me go over, check over that. Check that out. 'Cause you never know. Yeah, I've never played or heard of it, Kami. I'd love to check it out. Of course there's a yellow thing over here. Of course there is. I figured there would be. Another one. Nailed it. Alright, if I can figure out how Discord works, I never bothered. Discord's great, Kami. I recommend you get used to it. It's the future of chatting. It's a pretty chill puzzle game if you can deal with challenging puzzles without tilting. I might be down to stream it. You guys could help me deal with the tilt. Or you would enjoy my tilt. Dog monsters. Okay, that doesn't connect, obviously. Alright. Got out of that without taking any damage. Didn't quite get there though. Yeah, I'd be down if you want to link it in there, or you can link it in chat, Kami, and I can check it out. I'm into chill. Chill seems good. Sometimes chill is good. I mean, there's a bunch of you guys hanging out. This game must have something to it. Must be relaxing. I mean, I'm enjoying the soundtrack at least. Gameplay should get more interesting as we get more abilities. I feel like this kind of a game, they kind of need to keep throwing abilities at you early on just to keep you interested. And then once you really start to master the game, you know. I mean, there's a scaling, right? There's. I don't think the pacing is bad. Bird cultist. Oh. Bird cultist? It's a birdist. There you go. Ooh, that was bad. Okay, actually this game's pretty hard. I need to actually concentrate. There we go. Much better. Definitely the kind of game I'd probably play a little bit better if I wasn't exhausted. I just want to beat this first boss, guys. Let's see how much further we are actually from the top of the tower. We got a ways to go. Can we just save anywhere? Oh, there's co-op? That's sweet. So we can't just save anywhere, can we? No. Okay. It's a trap. It's a trap! If you were wondering. Oh yeah, Gallagher? I'm sure it gets pretty difficult. Like, sure it might feel a little bit easy right now, but I'm sure once they add the extra abilities, they start to ramp up the difficulty on the enemies, or just the density of enemies, I'm sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of you guys here just hanging out watching me play this game. I mean, the only reason I have it is because I picked it up off of the Twitch Prime. If you guys don't have Twitch Prime, they do give you free games, and sometimes they really are quality, which I'm impressed with. They have impressed me. I didn't think any of the games I was actually going to touch. Person to talk to, or person to fight? Person to fight, person to talk to. Person to fight. I was hoping to not take any damage on that. That's excellent. I just throw my sword down like a boss. I love it. So after a big fight like that, he's just like, yeah. Okay. I guess I can get behind that. I am the energy sword knight of the blue people. Let me show you the song of my people. Oh. Of the blue people. Alright, is this a safe spot? Can I save now? We're so close to the boss, though. Do you know about the saving in this game, Gallagher? Is it like an autosave type of game? Like how does the saving work? I don't want to lose all the progress I just made. Are there like save locations? Oh, this guy's toast. It's hard to believe we traveled that far. I guess we did. Oh, that's what those other locations were. They weren't side quests. Those are the other locations that need to be turned. Yeah. Okay, we definitely... I think it saves anywhere if you quit to the title screen, not totally sure. Well, I don't want to sit here and turn those other knobs. I wish I'd known that's... I figured they marked those on my map for a reason. Like for a legitimate reason. Okay, if we go down there, we can't come back up, so hold up, let's talk about this. But no, seriously, I gotta go to bed. I got work in the morning. It's been a real pleasure, though, guys. How about I send all 12 of us to another stream? Yeah, we can't get through yet. And we made it to the top of the mountain. That's awesome in and of itself. Alright, quit to title, less than a minute since last save. Oh, less than a minute since. Yes, that's fine. Alright, so I guess it saved when we turned the little thingy in the ground. Hyperlight Drifter. Alright, anyway. So, yes. Let me find us another streamer. I thought I'd found, sorry about that, I meant to do that. I thought I found another streamer earlier, didn't I? Yeah, I was going to host Punt and Wine. Ooh, he's up against something spicy. Alright.
I want to preserve the walking ballista in their yard because...
I'm going to go ahead and give him a host. Give him your undivided attention. And I'll see you guys on the next BrewSpy the Magic Guy. I'll see you, Brian. Thank you so much for all the bits, man. I can't wait to do your deck, your speed brew. And don't hesitate to remind me. I got a lot going on right now. I may forget, Brian, that you're next. Just, you know, a friendly reminder or a message. I wouldn't count that as passive-aggressive, like, hey, BrewSpy, you haven't done my, you know, blah yet. No, I won't take it that way. A little friendly push in the direction of making your deck happen. We'll do another speed brew. I like how impromptu it is. I like that it's got some improvisation to it and kind of molds and gets the chat going. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Give this guy your undivided attention. He's up against, oh, excuse me. The Vengevine deck. Sweet. Alright, I'll see you. I'll see you guys. Yeah, sounds good, Brian. That's a good place to do it. Good night, guys. I'll see you. I'm gonna give this guy a nice host. Best that I can do. I mean, I got my start by getting some generous hosts, so you have to spread it along. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Oh, infinite. Going infinite, not in a good way.